we are now going to see what is called use case analysis. We have this library system and it has certain business processes. So we actually listed a bunch of business processes and they have a certain beginning and end. For example, registering a member. We can imagine a person walking into the library and then saying that he or she wants to be a member of the library. Then they give the library staff their information, name, address, blah, 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 all those things. And the library staff creates a library card perhaps, then registers them as a member of the library, and that ends the registration process. So it has a well-defined beginning, a well-defined process, and it ends. It is very clear as to when it begins, when it ends, what the steps are, what the sequence is. Although it could be quite complicated, but it is still a very well-defined process. Similarly, checking out books or adding books to the collection or returning a book, all of them are well-defined. And there is just a collection of business processes. You have a number of business processes. You could have many business processes, but you can list them and they are all well-defined. So in such a case, we use what is called use case analysis. Many application systems can be approached or analyzed using this approach called use case analysis. It would help you determine, understand, and then document the requirements of the system. It would describe what the steps of the business process are. It is basically a bunch of actors, a bunch of people. In our case, it is going to be just one person interacting with the system. So you can see it as an interaction between a human and a software system. You can think of it like that. That is for our purpose in this library, but that is not always the case. You could have probably software systems interacting with the software system that we are constructing, or it could be sensors. You could have temperature sensors that interact with the software system. So it could be other things too, and it need not be just one agent. But what I am saying is, in this application, we have a software system and an external agent. There is just a two-party communication. So it is fairly simple. We have a separate use case for each functionality. That is why it is called a use case model. We are constructing the requirements. We are understanding the requirements using what are called use cases. And here I elaborate on some, or I have the fourth point that actually lists what I said a minute ago. A use case could have two or more parties. Okay, there could be multiple agents who interact with the system. Right. So we could actually have a diagram here. What is called a use case diagram, where we have an ellipse for each use case, and we have just one actor who interacts with all these use cases. These ellipses could be more elaborate than what is here. So you could have multiple ellipses contributing to the same use case, but that is not needed here. We have a very simple system. So we have one use case for each business process. So you can read all these things. These correspond to the business processes that we had before. And there is one party, one agent who interacts with the system in each use case.